Hey folks, today what I'd like to show you is an idea that we've come up with to get the clutter out of the way on your SCX10. Sometimes everything's just so crammed in there that it's hard to get to, and what we want to do is we want to clean up the look and also make it to where our electronics were accessible, very easily accessible, and also waterproofed. So basically it's maybe two videos in one, but first I'd like to explain first what we did here is we removed the receiver box and the battery tray mount, and we've got some sheet metal and we've painted it black. And what we did was we decided where everything needs to be and still not be in the way of the body and still be able to mount your electronics, your battery, and so forth. And first what we did was we just took a straight edge or a ruler of some sort, and we decided to get as close as we could to the transmission, as low as we could, but we also wanted to keep things as level as possible on the truck. So we basically went and got some measurements. In this case, we wanted this back part to be down, clean look in between the frame rails, and then in this area here, which we're going to actually mount our battery, we wanted it wide enough for the battery to mount. And then in the front, let me get it here. What we've done here is we've come up with our own waterproof system, and we're going to mount that in the very front. There, right there. Now you may say, well, why are you putting the battery in the middle? Well, we have a lot of weight in our front tires as it is, so we're just going to at least sample putting the battery in the center of the truck and try to see how that works out for us. But here's basically what we're going to have when it's all said and done, and it's going to be clean, it's going to be waterproof, and everything's going to be easily accessible. Now basically we had a piece of metal and we started getting the lengths that we needed, and we started bending it until everything fit. Now up front here, these three screws, I don't know if you can see those were actually the same three screws that hold the battery tray down on the front, and we've just removed all that. We used the stock spacers that were underneath the battery tray and remounted this front section. Now this front spacer, we actually ground just a little bit off of it because we noticed that from stock it seems to be just a little bit high. So we ground a little bit off that. And then on the rear we have three screws also. These holes are underneath here, are already there. And on the back, this was in the plastic kit. This is another rear bumper, I guess you would call it. But in this case, I don't know if you can see that, but it has this little loop in it with a hole there, and I'm not sure what if this is for a Honcho originally or if it's for a Dingo, why that plastic's in there, but we've decided to install that to give us another place to mount this metal with that screw right there. So anyhow, it really serves its purpose for us. Now in the way of waterproofing, a lot of people are plastic dipping their electronics, and some people are putting the balloons over them, and those aren't terrible ideas. I'm not real fond of the plastic dip idea, because once you dip a speed control and that stuff, you're never going to get the stuff off without a lot of fight to get it off. I mean, that stuff really sticks. So what we did is we've decided to go with a pill bottle. Now pill bottles are waterproof from I don't know if you know that, but the lids are waterproof. So in our situation, we just drilled out a little hole here in the side, ran all our wires through it. Our speed control's in there, our receiver is in there, and our on and off switch is in there right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on. The switch is left on, and we've crammed all that in there. And what we still have to do is we're going to take some silicone and we're going to put it around those wires right there to make sure we keep the moisture out. But that's what we did there, and we went to our local pharmacy and they actually gave us some of these. the longer they are, the bigger around they are. And in this case, this was a perfect size for our application. Again, we could have mounted one this here and the battery up front, and we may decide to do that. But in this case, we're going to go with this between the body mounts post here, and we're going to put our battery here, either two-sided tape or Velcro or something. But when it's all said and done, it'll be clean. There won't be a lot of wires hanging everywhere. And one more thing that I forgot to mention is this servo wire is a 6-inch extension. So that way we could plug it into the receiver but still have this end sticking out, so that at any time we want to remove this, all we have to do is unplug the steering servo, the batteries, and the motor leads, and your electronics are off the truck. And I'm not sure exactly how we're going to mount this. We may try a hot glue gun and put a bead through here, or we may put some silicone through here. We may go with Velcro. Not really sure exactly what direction we're going to go. We may decide to put some bands around it. I'm not sure. But whatever it is, we're going to try to make it look as good as possible. But there you are. We've just gotten rid of some things and tried to clean it up and simplify it and keep the wires out of the way. If we want to clean this thing off, I mean, it's not going to give us a lot of problems. And we could, if we want to take this off and give it a good bath, and there you are. All you have is your servo and your motor. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.